Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Advanced Bass Fishing, and thank you very much for making some time out of your day to spend with me. And one of the things that I like to do on Advanced Bass Fishing, I like to sort of like create a classroom environment, sort of a seminar environment here. You can listen to it where you're driving to work or, home at night where don't have much going on. But I want to talk a little bit about why one bass will choose to live its life in shallow water and the other bass wants to be in deep water on the same lake at the same time. Now, a lot of people probably don't put much thought into this, but this is the one thing I think about a lot in bass fishing because it fascinates me. And I've got some theories on this based upon my personal observations I want to share with you guys, and hopefully maybe it'll get you a better understanding about bass movement, behavior, and how to catch some more fish as a result. Also, guys, for get started, just your favorite part of my daily YouTube videos, the housekeeping tips. Just like to invite everybody to please swing by and check out my Fish the Moment lake map breakdowns that I build for Fish the Moment. These guys are great resources to learn more about your favorite lake, get some good places to fish on your favorite lake or a lake you've never seen before. Taken me like 5 years to build these for Fish the Moment. I'll link those in the description of the video if you guys like to check that out, along with my Tackle Warehouse link, guys. Thank you very much if you're one of the viewers that have been using and bookmarking my Tackle Warehouse link for your fishing gear purchases. You're really doing a lot to support the channel, so much appreciated. Okay, one of the things that you're going to notice on a lot of man-made impoundments, especially the man-made impoundments that have decent water clarity, like water visibility over 3 feet, is you've got different populations of fish that do different things at different times. And I've never really understood this. I've never really understood why one bass chooses to live on a laydown tree in the back of a cove, and the other bass chooses to spend its life roaming around over 100 foot of water chasing shad. What is it that determines that? And it's sort of like been my experience and sort of my theory is that bass are individuals to a large degree. They're individuals just like people are, in terms that they just have certain preferences. I'll give you guys a good example. This is a study that I heard done on a bass tagging study. This has been probably 20 years ago or so. There was this one study done where I think they tagged a half a dozen bass to monitor them over the course of a year. And they released all 6 of these bass in one area, out of the same place. And out of the 6 bass, 2 of them, all they did is they moved about 300 yards away from where they were released, and they took up residence on some stumps and stuff like that, shallow cover, and they stayed within 100 feet of that particular stump or that laydown tree that was just right next to where they were released at for a year. They stayed right there, and I think at 1 or 2 of the bass, they sort of dispersed out, and they went a few miles away, and the other 2 swam 20 or 30 miles away. So why did a couple bass stay right there and other bass swum 30 miles? So at this point, it's just speculation. It's sort of my experience in this. I think that bass are very opportunistic. And if they swim down a particular area and they feel comfortable, like this area offers them, good forage, good cover, they may be comfortable with that and they stay there. Other bass may not be as impressed by those areas and they keep looking for better, more suitable habitat for them, more suitable food sources. So that's one thing. But one of the things that I've noticed in bass fishing is that you can go to a man-made impoundment that has decent water clarity in it, and you may have a decent population of fish that literally live in less than 3 or 4 foot of water all year long. If the water visibility and the cover is present, it doesn't have to be off-colored water. It can even be clear water. But if the cover is present and the food source is present, a lot of these fish will just live there. They'll live shallow all year long. And then you have other bass that sort of are in and out. They may be out in, deep water during the daytime and they move up shallow at night at feed. Some bass use the mid depths. They're in that 5 to 10 foot range. Some bass are on the bottom deep, like in 25 or 30 foot of water. And other bass are just open water roamers, the ones that guys catch them with the spotlighter machine. So why is it that you've got 5 or 6 different populations of fish doing different things at the same time on any given lake? And again, it's just all theory. I don't think that we can't really get into a bass's mind to understand what their motivations are. But one thing that I can tell you, how you can use this in your own fishing, is that realize that you don't have to do just one thing. It's like, the great thing about fish using a diversity of different type of water in a lake is that you can fish your strength. If you don't like to fish deep water, or you don't like to spotlight for bass, you can catch them in shallow the whole time. You can fish shallow and you can do okay with that. If you're one of those guys that love to fish deep water and you love to idle around looking at your electronics, you can do that. You don't have to fish up on the bank there. So it's sort of a bonus for the anglers that you can do a little bit of everything. And at any given time, one of those things can be more productive than the other as far as technique wise. But I will say that I think the majority of bass prefer to live either in deep water or closer to deep water a lot of times of the year. That's why big bass get tougher to catch after the pre-spawn. You know, during the pre-spawn period of the year, you've got more big fish that are up shallow than any other time of the year. And then that's why a lot of the bigger fish are caught like in February, March, and April. And then after that, those big fish become fewer and far between because they disperse in different depths. And one of the things that I've noticed about bass is, like, you got a lot of fish, a lot of good fish up shallow during the pre-spawn, and then you'll also have a lot of good fish that school up in the late post-spawn, early summertime, like June, where they get in schools and they stay in those schools in deeper water. But as the summer goes on and the thermoclines form, those fish will disperse out, you know, suspend more, get shallow more, use various depths. So it just wasn't another thing to make it more complicated. I just threw something else at you that basically was that you just don't know what the heck the bass are going to do at any given time. And that's why bass fishing is the most difficult sport out there. It's the most rewarding sport. It's the funnest sport. It's the most frustrating sport. It is going to make you happy at times. It's going to piss you off at times. It's going to frustrate you at times. It's going to be the greatest thing in the world at times. And that's just what's addictive to it, I guess. So anyway, guys, just some random thoughts there. Hope it helps you guys think a little bit. We'll talk later.